Okay, so hi all, good evening. So Anil, can you come on video, please? You are there, Anil?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Good.
Okay.
So
You
fine.
can.
The intention of this meeting is I'm not invited Anil just because he had cracked a job of data engineering job profile with Altimetric. That's not the reason. Okay. The main reason is I will call him as a hero. Okay, for myself, he's a hero. The reason is, see, it happens sometimes in our life. We are down. It happens with everyone, right? We face rejections, or sometimes we applied for interview and we are getting rejected, and many other stuff happen, right? So I was surprised when he was telling in the morning to me how much he has struggled in the life, right? So I'm not that much happy that okay, fine, he has got an offer, but more than that, how with the situation, how with the circumstances he has struggled, right? And then he has proved to the world that yes, I am in, I have my existence, right? So that's the main intention. I have organized this session, right? And feel free to ask your questions, guys. I will request others to go on mute, please. Okay. So Anil,
Particular.
can you please tell us about yourself first of all, starting means your introduction. Who is Anil? So we want to know that.
Yeah, hi,
Particular.
sir.
Particular.
Yeah,
Particular
myself,
beta.
Anil Varma. So, yeah, I have completed my BTech in way back 2014. So thereafter, I have done lot of jobs. Initially, I worked as an in mobile shop for over an year, and then there my pay was very less, and I don't have any leaves on Sundays and all. So, and
Okay.
first thing were after BTech, I don't know what to do. I was a very, a very bad student in my BTech. I never wrote any program, not even a single line in my BTech. But anyhow, I completed my BTech in computer science. So yeah, after 2014, once I completed my BTech, I don't know what to do. So I searched the newspapers and all. So somehow I got a job in mobile shop. There I have worked for around 1 year. So anyhow, I left that pay and all, 8K. But that time it's enough for me. And then after that, I have worked as a journalist for 6 months in a news channel and an English news channel called Hands, Hyderabad Metro Television. I thought of doing something exceptionally. I want to change my something. It was in my mind. I want to do something better for my country and all, but it won't work if we want to do in real world. The television people and all won't accept if you do kind of that stuff. So they need the guy who generates revenue. Or otherwise, who the guy who gets some news that give a TRP, those kind of stuff they expect from us. So they removed me after 6 months. Even I was doing good. They told like you just leave that organization and all. They told me. Then I left that journalist job and all. Again, I went for a job, a security guard for 1 month. I don't have any money. So I worked there for only 1 month. Then again, I worked as a catering boy for 1 year. A daily 150, 200 in between I used to get. Now somehow I was managing at that time.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay, till 2 years it got completed. Then one fine morning in Hyderabad, I went for a tea. So there I saw one pamphlet that is a paper. There they wrote, we have a job openings 10K per
Mhm.
month and all. Yeah, I contacted them and they asked me to come for an interview. Yeah, they just asked just normal English question, what is your name? So somehow they gave me a job. That is USIT recruiter job, where my role was to send the profiles to our being and beings like H1B candidate and all. I need to get an interviews. I need to place them. The first thing I need to schedule interviews. I need to talk to the vendors and I need to schedule interviews. They'll place. That is the one thing. But I worked there for 1 month. They told it's completely night shift from evening 8 to morning 4. So they told initially they will pay 10K, but they paid only 4,800 after that month. Then again, I left that job. Again, I searched same job, but in a different company for 10K. Yeah, I got there.
Okay, okay.
I joined
Mm,
there, but my English was very, very poor. Seriously, very poor. I can't able to talk about myself for a single word. Then some few people they helped me. They wrote me on a book. You just tell these words if someone asks anything and all. So within 3 months, I
mm-hmm.
worked very hard and I got an appreciation from the recruiting manager and all. So yeah, again, my struggles were started. These people started discouraging me. Uh, why, why you are doing Harry Barry? So we are a seniors and all. There are these people are getting some 40, 50K for
Okay.
less work. I asked my manager, I want some 16 to
So
17K.
so so net lot of struggle, right?
Yeah, yes,
Lot
sir.
of struggle. Okay.
Yeah.
So then, okay, fine. So a lot of struggle you have done. So and that's what like he has done his BTech and then he worked as a catering boy and many other stuffs he has told, right? And so means after BTech, generally I have seen that the students they want to get placed somewhere, right? Or many times when I interact with the students, so they will tell that Tanvir, I'm getting frustrated. I'm not getting a job. What to do? I have all these skill sets. I have applied at multiple platforms, LinkedIn, Naukri, but I'm not getting job, right? So, but how Anil, like he survived all those scenarios, all those circumstances, and he was not having any family or financial background, right? So he stood up and he worked on his own. Okay, many other things like generally, if someone has done BTech, he will not think of doing this catering job or many other things what he has told, right? Okay, so quickly coming to like this data engineering journey. So, Anil, can you tell us like how you have started preparing and how you prepared your resume and how many rounds of interview you have? Where means how many rounds of interview you have appeared there? Yeah.
Sir, I'm preparing this data engineering from past 2 years. Okay, but I got multiple offers. Every 6 months, I used to put resume. I'll get some 3 to 4 offers. I stop looking. Okay, so I was very comfortable in this company currently where I'm working. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's happening every time. Every 3, 4 months, I used to put resume in Naukri. I attended interviews. I'm getting offers, but I'm not. I did not resign till date actually. But this time I resigned to my current company. My journey started. I learned anyhow. I was into big data domain. I was into Hadoop admin. Earlier, I worked as a Linux admin and the Azure admin in Cognizant for 2 years. Uh, yeah, and now in my current company, actually, I was into big data support. Actually, even though I was in big data support, I didn't get much chance to work on development tasks and all. I took some big data course and all. So yeah, after giving interviews, I used to get offered, but inside I was not. I was lagging in the SQL side, sir. First thing. In 22 September, I started learning SQL from TechNest. Actually, right, sir. I used to ping every time about after the class and all. Yes, sir. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And I once I completed that sequel. Again, I gave a few interviews. Again, I got offer, but then the interviews are changing day by day, sir. Initially, they 1.5 year back they asked only big data stack, but now they are more focusing on SQL. Now they are asking Python. Okay, first of all, they are not asking anything about our project or nothing, sir. First, now what they are doing, just share your notepad, write a few two Python programs or two SQL programs. Then they are going into the big data stack. I attended 5 interviews.
Okay, okay. Sorry to interrupt you. Can you tell us in this way, like in like company wise, because you have
Okay,
mentioned like
okay.
you appeared for
Yes,
multiple
yes,
interviews. So can you
yes,
tell
sir.
me like when you appeared for a particular company, so how many
Okay.
rounds were there in the first round, what are questions they ask you? I know like it is difficult to recall all those
Yeah, yeah,
questions
yes.
what you have asked, but whatever
Yes.
you can recall, you can share with us.
Okay, first interview I have attended Virtusa. So in
Virtusa,
first round,
okay.
yes, sir.
How many
Mm,
rounds were there in Virtusa?
it was a two rounds, sir. Actually,
Two
first
rounds,
round,
okay.
first round only they, the interviewer brought an Excel sheet. Is having two SQL queries. Okay, he asked three questions in the SQL, sir. First, he want output all the joints, inner joint, left, right, everything. It's an
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
typical joints there. It's not like one, not column. Like he gave three, one, one, one. The column consists of three ones. And the row,
Okay.
row consists of three ones, like three
Okay. So,
twos.
so we understood. The first question was based on joints. Okay, that is fine. What was the
Yes,
next
sir.
question?
Next question they asked on case when they asked actually.
Okay.
Yeah, a case one they asked. And third one, a question consists of both group by and having.
Okay, based on group by and having. Okay. So you
Yes,
mean the first round was based on SQL and they have asked these three questions. Okay. So apart
yes,
from
sir.
these three questions from SQL, and I means they have asked questions from other skills as well, like maybe Python or any other thing. In the first round, I'm asking.
Yes, sir. In Python, they asked me about OOPS theoretical concepts. Okay.
Okay.
And they asked me to write two Python questions. One was on a lambda function. He gave a list
Okay.
and
Hmm.
he told me to iterate each element with two. Okay, write it in lambda function.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine.
And
Fine.
yeah, and he asked me about classes, objects, OOPS, inheritance, and all theoretically.
Oh, okay. Object-oriented concept they have asked you in Python. Okay. So
Yes,
these
sir.
questions were asked in the first round, right?
Yes, sir. First one.
Okay. Okay. Good. Hmm.
And after that, they asked a few PySpark questions. PySpark.
Okay. That is in the first round only.
Yeah, it's the first one. Basically, only two
First
questions
round
they
only.
asked actually.
Okay, can you tell us like what was the duration of the first round? Like it was for 45 minutes, 1 hour, or
For,
more than that?
45 minutes, sir, actually it was.
45 minutes. Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the client was a Standard Chartered Bank.
Okay, and tell me one thing, like when you were answering the questions in SQL, so the client were they concerned about the syntax or just they want to check your logic?
Sir, but they never expected the output, sir. They just check the way of writing the query.
Correct, correct,
No
correct,
one, sir.
correct,
They're not looking. Even I know the answer was wrong, but they're checking whether the syntax, the query formation is right or not. They are looking the same thing.
correct. So that's what for everyone. See, many times I have told this. Nowadays, the interviewers they are least bothered about the syntax. Okay, especially in SQL or Python, they will check that how smart you are in building logics because syntax is not a big deal. Like if you're working in a project, the client knows that okay, if you're getting a struct somewhere, you have ChatGPT, you have Google, you can check the syntax. That's not a big deal, right? Suppose if I forgot the syntax of substring or in string, I can check from Google, right? But the logic building is the important thing, and that's why I always stress on this that you have to be strong in logic. Okay, you have to be strong in logic building. I will request everyone to be on mute. Sorry, you're disturbing the class. I don't want to call the name. Please be on mute, guys. So, okay, can you tell me about the next round, Anil? What
Mm,
happened in the next round?
Next round, it's completely on big data stack, sir, actually. So
Hmm.
yeah, they mostly focused on HDFS. They haven't asked any SQL and oh yeah, they asked normal SQL. Just
Hmm.
they asked the differences and all. Okay. And they more focused on big data stack, and they asked me about the shell scripting and all. Earlier,
Oh, shell scripting. Okay.
yes, it's a pure big data project. So I know
Hmm.
shell scripting. I told earlier I worked on, but I forgot. They just asked one question. I know that question actually.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. How you will check that output is right or whether it is executed correct or not? Echo question mark dollar something it will be there.
Okay, in
Echo.
shell scripting. Okay.
Yeah, I
And from the
told.
big data perspective, what are questions they have asked?
They more focused on Hive, HDFS, and PySpark. Any
Hive,
Spark.
HDFS, and PySpark. Okay, fine. Any
Yes.
questions from the ETL perspective?
ETL, they haven't asked much.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So fine. So this was you told about the Virtusa, right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and tell us about the altimetry from where you have received the offer letter. Like how many
Okay.
rounds were there in the first round? What are questions they asked, and the duration
Okay.
of that round?
Yeah, ultimately I went for face to face. Okay, in Hyderabad location. First one was first they conduct some hacker rank exam. Okay,
Hmm.
it's a manageable, sir. It's not a big thing, but it was a bit no, tough. Actually, they'll ask a data structure stuff. So I don't know data structure. I simply, I kept those answers and all. A sequel they ask, they'll ask a bit tough sequel theoretical questions, sir. Not easy.
Okay.
We
So
need to.
can you tell
No,
us the questions if you remember, like on which concept, at least if you know, like what questions they asked, means how much in-depth questions they were asking?
actually, one question they asked me, sir. Select one, two, three star from table, or
Hmm.
select in quote select one, two, three star from table.
Hmm.
Like that, whether which one is true,
Okay.
and they ask primary key and surrogate key.
Okay.
A few questions I forgot, but it's not that much easy, sir. It's a bit
So from
no,
which section of the SQL generally they have asked question, like joins, the window functions, the
no,
CP, or
sir.
which one?
No, joints they asked actually. They gave one
Okay.
join and they asked me how many rows it will come for this join.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Generally, one thing I want to ask Anil, generally, many candidates they have this perception that for SQL we have to practice a lot of questions, right? And
yes, sir.
we have to solve the questions of Pang companies and the Mang companies and the hacker rank and all those things, right? So, what is your thought when you appeared in the interview? What is your thought that how the participants they should prepare? Because if they're preparing for all these platforms, hacker rank and many other Pang Mang interview questions, it will take a lot of time. So, what is your experience?
Sir, for my experience, those are not required, sir.
Okay.
Frankly saying, not for this sake of this call, not at all required. Not at all required. Only thing they always focusing on the basic skill sets, sir. They are focusing on basics only. Okay,
Hmm.
they won't expect us to write some hundreds of no lines of code and all. They never expect these kind of things. As by my experience, I'm telling. They
Okay.
simply, focusing on the basics. Basics, sir. Seriously. I have attended a few companies. They never went, tough questions. But they're asking
Okay.
everything, Windows, everything they're asking, these kind of questions only. But it varies from company to company. Few companies, they'll only ask windowing functions. Okay.
Okay.
Few companies, they want optimized code. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Performance from performance
ye-
perspective. Okay.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, in emphasis, it was one that interview gave one code. I forgot, but I solved both in
Hmm.
windowing and group by using group by.
Okay.
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 Initially, I solved by group by. Then he told me, see, he told me like you are a data engineer, you should write that query in an optimized manner. It's a client
Okay.
router.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Good.
So yeah.
So,
So
okay. So, any question from the audience? Means, do you have any question? Before I proceed further, I bombard with the questions. So, from audience, do you have any question, anyone? Yeah, please go ahead. You can unmute and you can ask.
Resume
But try
preparation. I mean, how
resume
you
preparation.
prepared
Okay, good.
ATS resume or how it will be.
Okay, good question. That's a very good question because nowadays the resumes are getting scanned by the AI algorithms, right? So, Anil, like how you prepared your resume?
Uh, resume is like one page format I have prepared. Okay,
Okay.
I took the resume from my friend. He is working in Fractal. So I
Hmm.
took but I changed the like I showcase a lot of tech stack in my resume.
Okay.
No, based on that, I got some very good companies, sir. Actually, very good product-based companies called. Even today,
Okay.
also, I got one product-based company call. I got call from Walmart. Big, mostly, no, they won't look at the resume, but they are looking
Hmm.
at the tech stack. What you are mentioning in
Okay.
that resume, sir.
Okay. Good. Good.
Yeah,
So I will
tech
do
stack.
one thing. I will do one thing. Like I will request Anil if he can share his resume with me. So I will
Okay.
remove all his confidential data and the data which are related to his identity, and I will share in the group so that you can get an idea that what's the format of resume he has used, because obviously there's a lot of hype these days about the resume preparation. So I will share that, not an issue. So any other question, anyone?
Yeah. Uh, Anil,
Yeah.
when you're saying basic, it is about structure of the SQL that we should focus on, or is it about the logic building with the syntax that
Yeah,
is
the
more?
logic building they're more focusing on. You see, they never expect the output actually. They'll check your way of writing the SQL query, whether it is exact. At least it should be matched to the requirement, to that output. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, logic building ability. Okay,
Yes.
fine.
Yes, sir. Logic building. Yeah. In all the
Okay.
companies, they never expected any out, but only one thing for joins, they'll expect output. How many rows we fill? They 100% they'll expect, sir, for this
Okay.
question.
Okay, so Anil, one personal question I want to ask, that from my you have taken my course twice. That was good. So from the assignment, like what all assignments I used to share. Obviously, the first batch I think you have joined in the S1
Yes.
batch, and then I think in the S9 batch. So there might be few questions we have added in the S9 batch because we keep on improving the assignments. So if I will ask you, how many of the assignment questions you have solved, like whatever we have shared?
Sir, I'll solve all questions, sir. All the questions, or at least some 15 times.
Oh, all the questions.
Yeah,
Okay.
why I'm telling you, sir, you
Mm.
have a question, how you solve. Sir, there was a guy, I forgot his name. He prepared all your assignments, your class notes in a single document.
Okay. Mohan?
Yeah.
Mohan was there. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
That guy,
Okay.
he gave me that document. For me, he
Okay,
gave me
okay.
the
That's good.
document, sir.
That's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sir,
Hmm.
what I'll do, sir, Saturday
Hmm.
morning, I'll wake up at 5:30. I'll sit till afternoon 12 o'clock. I'll take 1 hour break or some 30 minutes break.
Okay.
Simple. Even the same select query item, sorry, everything. So after doing some 4 5 times, right, it got stuck in my mind.
Okay, okay, okay.
Seriously,
That's
sir.
what everyone, like, you see, that's what I used to tell in each and every batch. Getting your hand dirty means it's the main secret, right? I cannot tell like this is secret. This is what which everyone should do. And like the practice makes a man perfect. My responsibility is to show you the path, right? Now it's up to you that you have to work on it. You have to get your hand dirty, practice more and more question, right? All those who has cracked the interview, whenever I ask the same question, they will tell that the your assignments I have solved any number of times. And please, again, don't get distracted solving questions on multiple platforms. No, my assignments, whatever we have designed, okay. So I think that is sufficient. If you are solving the same question using 2 3 ways, that is sufficient. If you are able to solve using CT with window function, then think that how I can solve this with CT with joins, okay. Because even Anil has told, like sometimes they have asked the question that the same question you have to solve using different approaches, right? So the interviewers, they want to check that how comfortable you are with all the keywords of SQL, or do you have any soft corner through which using which you want to solve? Okay, that's good. So generally, like Anil, apart from this, any question from the ETL they ask, like what happens in ETL, what are the pipelines, what is a batch, the dimension factors, normalization, ACDs,
Yeah.
any such question?
Yes, sir. They started asking in ultimately completely they focused on these things. But
Hmm.
I know this SCD and all in Databricks. Even I learned Databricks well. Okay, they asked me
Okay.
about SCD1, SCD2. Okay, and
Hmm.
what is how you are doing the ETL. Even I have
Hmm.
mentioned big data as well as I mentioned Azure Data Factory and Databricks in my resume.
Okay.
Yeah, in big data, I was telling I'm using Scoop for up to some extent, not 100%,
Okay.
but
Hmm.
where I using Scoop for the ETL, okay, where we pull out the data and all. But I
Okay.
mentioned ADF. I told the ADF things for ETL. They asked a few questions. Okay, how you will trigger your pipelines, what kind of schedulers you use in ADF, what kind of
Hmm.
transformation that you are doing by using ADF, what kind of file formats that you are using. Those questions they are asking actually.
Okay, okay, good. Any question from the audience? Feel free and ask
Uh,
questions if you have any.
How your preparation went on, on daily basis or how it would be?
Yeah,
Daily
that's a
basis
good question.
actually. Seriously, I'm telling, same program. Seriously, I'm
Hmm.
telling, I practice some 30, 40 times, everything. So why that? I'm seriously till now also I'll do the same thing. Okay. What
Yeah.
happened, right? If you learn Python, you learn SQL, you learn PySpark, you learn Hive, you learn Databricks, lot of things you need to learn for data engineering. But if you forgot, if you not revise for 2 days, right, you forgot everything. So what I used to do, right, I'll practice the same thing again. Even if I get bored also, I'll do the same thing. Whenever I'm get bored, I'll open that book, I'll read this thing, I'll make myself well prepared every time. Whether I'm giving interviews or not, uh, it doesn't matter. But it's a huge thing. Like we cannot revise in 1 or 2 days all this data engineering concept. Every week I'll revise everything, sir. Every week once I'll revise once. So I'll make myself happy first thing. Okay, yeah, I did not forget these concepts. Okay, so it's good. I'll be like this actually.
That's a
So
great
we,
thing. That's a
yeah,
great thing. Self motivation is a really great thing. You always have to appreciate yourself. I'm telling this to everyone because really, I get always calls from many
yeah, you speak. Sorry.
Tanvi, you are on mute.
Is my voice
No.
audible now?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So that's what I'm telling. Self-motivation is very important thing, right? And always be positive, guys. I know like many time it happens because see the purpose, the intention of this meeting is not to just tell you like how Anil Varma he prepared and all those things. More than that, the intention is to show you that how he struggled with the circumstances and how he kept himself self-motivated. Very important. Okay, so that's very good. Any other question? Anyone?
Anil, in how much depth they are asking about the Hadoop technologies or
Gaurav, are you asking something? I think.
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Welcome. Yeah, yeah, welcome. If you are mentioning as a big data developer, right, you should have some knowledge on HDFS level. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
If that interviewer was good enough knowledge on a big data system, at least he'll ask some few questions on HDFS. And one more thing, Hive, you should have very good knowledge on Hive. Not good knowledge, like at least you should have some good in-depth knowledge on Hive. Anyhow, PySpark, SQL, Python, these and all, everywhere it will be common, whether for Azure, AWS, everything. But you should be good enough in both HDFS and Hive.
Okay, they are not asking about the PySpark.
No. PySpark is common everywhere. But apart of PySpark, I'm telling you.
Okay, okay. So interview is more focused on the cloud technologies like ADF, Azure Databricks, or it focus on the Hadoop environment like MapReduce, Yarn, HDFS.
No. They're not. See, first thing now what they're doing, right? They first started asking questions on PySpark only. Once we clear those PySpark, right, then they are going for cloud things. The final thing was cloud. Okay. Only thing was like cloud would be an added advantage if you mention. Okay. If you mention only PySpark also, you will get ample number of calls. Okay. End of the day, we need to do PySpark code only.
Okay, thank you so much. Last question from my side. How you use Naukri.com efficiently for getting
Mm,
calls?
Naukri, yeah. I'll use Naukri and I'll use LinkedIn. Both I'll use. I'll update weekly once if I'll get enough calls in a week. That's enough. No, I won't attend much interviews actually. I kept some 20 days back. I attended 4 or 5 interviews. I got 2 offers actually. Now I stopped looking for jobs actually. But you'll get a lot of calls for data engineer, that's for sure. That's even maybe this month I'm getting less calls. But if the market was very good, you can't pick your phone. You'll get some at least 30, 40 calls.
Okay,
Uh,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anil, how much of self-scripting should we know, and
No,
how
no,
much of Python?
no need of shell scripting. For a particular big data project, they're using shell scripting. Even why I'm telling you, right? I know Linux well, so I somewhat have managing in interviews. Anyhow, shell scripting is mix of both Linux commands and scripting, right? So if I'm telling that I was good enough in Linux, so they'll ask few questions on Linux actually. So if they think that I'm good in Linux, they stop. They won't ask much questions on shell script. It is not at all necessary that you should have a shell script in your resume, but it will be an added advantage. That's it.
Okay. So we should know basic commands of Linux, right? Like not the scripting.
Yeah, if you are attending for big data projects, it should be. If not, for a cloud, we no need to have Linux things.
And how much of Python is needed as a beginner to at least go and start Hadoop and on-premises services,
Mm,
learning
Learning
perspective?
till up to functions, we should have to learn at least. Okay, if you learn periodically at least this OOPS concept, it is no better. Welcome. It will be added advantage. Why? Because even they won't ask very tough questions in Python, but they'll ask Python questions. Okay, list slicing. They'll ask a few questions on sets, tuples, dictionary. They'll ask. And we have some standard questions for Python. I can share you in group. I'm having some 40, 45 questions I'm having. So those 45 questions only I prepared actually, like a palindrome, Fibonacci series, reverse string, prime number, even number, those kind of questions. We people will know these questions, but we learn all these things in our BTech test, uh, those days actually. Yeah. For my experience, so yeah, from whichever I attended, these companies they ask maybe some big companies, some product based, maybe they can ask, yeah, Python, they are asking decent questions, which we can write. But even if you won't write also, it's not an issue actually. They'll go for theoretical questions. If you are not writing Python question also, right? They won't consider, and they won't consider it's a priority. Okay, but at least they will ask um, about classes, methods, written statements. Up to this level, they are asking. That's it.
And one more question, sorry. Uh, how to put ourselves on the track for Hadoop, because it's very big
Yeah, yeah,
environment, right? There is so
yeah, yeah.
many frameworks.
Yeah.
So focus on Hadoop as a on-premises service or more focus on cloud services like Azure. Your take
No,
on that.
now I can say now if you mention Databricks, any one cloud, right, will get more calls.
Your Databricks.
Yeah, yeah, even you are a big data developer, if you mention that, see, Databricks now it's an essential thing in our resume. It should be mentioned.
So now I can even prolong that, but it's totally depends upon it.
Yes, someone is asking. Okay. Any other question, anyone?
But I think
Uh,
cloud skill is must. If you know
uh,
Hadoop, then it's fine. Means
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
cloud
what.
skill is mandatory nowadays for big data role.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Even I mentioned big data things in my resume, but still I mentioned Databricks also. So yeah, in Ultimately they completely we focused on the Databricks only. Then my second round it went for 1 hour 15 minutes out of 30 minutes. The interviewer asked on Databricks only.
You can
Um,
include AWS cloud also. It's not mandatory that Azure means know
no,
any of
nothing.
the cloud.
Any one cloud. Because but the
Okay.
ETL was a very ETL
It
was
makes it
easy.
very easy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, compared to Azure Cloud, the ETL was easy. It's kind of a drag and drop wheel thing. It's no, kind of easy, uh, better well compared to AWS and all. we have ADF, right, where we can do all those things in a web UI.
Right.
So
One question. What were the questions from Spark Architecture?
Spark architecture, they'll ask, uh, um, if they'll ask you to write a Spark code. It's like a Spark architecture, right? Okay.
Right.
Spark context, the Spark reception, these kind of questions they'll ask, and internals of Spark. Okay, mostly they'll ask on performance tuning. Okay, and if you tell something, that you need to tell that in which case you have used that in your project. They're asking now these things. Earlier, if you tell theoretically, right, if they ask you something about broadcast join, okay, they'll ask in which case you have used this broadcast join. Where did you use this broadcast join? Okay. So they're using, I told I use broadcast join and all. Then he cross questioned me. Then if you have a 10 MB of file, then why you come to big data? You can go for other sources and all. He cross questioned me, and he told like, mostly we won't use broadcast join in real time projects and all. There is no use of big data, right? So he told me two things. So you need to convince the interviewer if you're telling something. That's it.
Yeah, actually, I was also asked a question. Means like, if you are you means why you are using Spark if you can you do the same thing with Kafka streams.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, yeah, Kafka and all is a kind
Okay.
of a, yeah.
Shall we move to the next participant if anyone has any question?
Yeah, are they expecting
So,
certification or something?
No, no, no. But I didn't have any certification, so I don't know
Okay.
about that.
Anyone
Yeah, yeah.
asked? They
No, no,
required or
no.
something? Okay.
No one asked. No one asked.
Okay. Thank you.
any other resources you refer? I think you were mentioning last time. I think someone
Yeah,
even
yeah. These are
for
the
the
resources.
that was okay.
Yeah, these are the.
Okay, resources wise, I will recommend like you can mention that in the group or we can connect. Okay,
Yes.
so means you can ask like what are questions were asked and like how he prepared. So what is the strategy? So any such question anyone has?
Yes, regarding the real-time Spark questions or real-time scenario questions, like how did you exactly handle those questions and what
See,
kind of questions were you asked?
seriously, you should have at least some three real-time scenarios that always should be in mind. Okay, even so, they'll ask what is the biggest challenge that you have encountered in your project. That question they'll ask. So you should be prepared that question in every interview they are asking, and it should be convincing method. They should convince with that answer. If they are telling something, that should be convinced actually. So if you are telling something, so it should be convinced that you should not, the interviewer should not ask any question. In a such a way, you should tell the answer. Prepare
Okay,
some.
it means your answer means you have to convince to the interviewer, right? That whatever you're
Yes,
telling,
sir. Yes,
because
sir.
of
Yes,
course
sir.
he will not blindly accept whatever we are telling. So
Yes,
you
sir.
have to prove that, and that's what you have
Yeah.
to add the flavor of the project if you have worked, right?
Yes.
So that's important. Okay. Any other question, anyone? Yes, no? Okay. One thing I want to summarize here, see, actually always there's a lot of hype about the preparation for data engineering or data analyst job profile. Net, what I understood is like it's not a rocket science, first of all. Okay, it's not a rocket science. You have to follow a disciplined approach. I always used to tell the same thing. Follow a disciplined approach. And again, it's not like you have to be a scientist, right? Follow a disciplined approach, work on the basics, and try to get your hand dirty. Practice n number of times, okay? So that when the interviewer is asking you a question, everything should be at the tip of your tongue, okay? One thing I want to ask you, Anil, maybe it might have happened that the interviewer has asked a question and you don't know the answer. Maybe. So in that case, how you handle that scenario, what you told to the interviewer.
In that case, like I'm telling straight away, I haven't got any chance to work on that kind of scenario. So
Okay.
yeah, I haven't got any. But if I know something about that, I'm having an idea. So if I'll get anything like that scenario, I try to implement, but I didn't got any chance actually. And straight away I'm telling I don't want to lay something. So
Correct.
if you tell something if you don't know, again they'll cross question you. Again they
Correct.
started
Correct.
asking
Correct.
questions. No problem if you don't know anything also, nothing. It won't happen. He won't
Yes.
slap and all. He's someone, we are someone. That's it. He's not our friend and all. And it's not only one company that we have jobs. That's it. I
Right.
think.
Right. Right. Right, correct. So many times, like the interviewers intentionally they will ask you tough question. It
Yes.
happens many times. We intentionally ask tough questions, and we want to check that how you are reacting. We know that you'll not be knowing the answer. We want to check your reaction. That in that case, how you will react. Because suppose you're working in a project, right, and there are certain circumstances that something went wrong. It's a production issue, right? So in that case, how you will handle that scenario? Are you going to make it stories? Or in the straightforward, you will tell that, oh, this was the reason, right? That's what, if you don't know the answer, you should not start making a stories, right? You should tell to the interviewer that, sorry, I don't have any idea, but I will try to go through that. Maybe I have not gotten an opportunity to work into this particular area, right? So never make a stories. The interviewers know. And if the interviewer will catch you that, oh, he is making a stories, okay, he's lying, then you'll be in trouble. Okay. So I think that was a fantastic session. And so, any final and last question from the audience? Anyone? Especially, I'm looking questions from the freshers. The freshers have not asked questions. All the experienced folks have asked questions. Any question from the fresher who is very new? Because generally nowadays the freshers are getting brainwashed. Okay, a lot of what I can say, the content sometimes it is confusing, right? So any fresher in this group who wants to ask question? No. Okay. Or any other question, anyone?
Yeah, I mean, what was the calls which we are getting on based upon the experience? 3 years, 4 years?
I'm having overall 4.2 years of experience.
Okay, great.
Yeah, 2 years into this the big data domain. I'm
Okay,
getting good calls actually.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but I still I'm also surprised. Obviously, the market is a little bit down. So how what magic you have done in your resume that you are getting good number of calls. So of
Yeah.
course, so Anil, if possible, you share that on my personal window, not in the group, and you remove your confidential data from that. Okay, I will also work on
Anil,
that and I will
even
remove
I'm
some other
also
data.
getting lot of calls.
Yes,
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
that's good. That's good. Perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
So you remove those confidential data and share
Sure,
that with me, Anil. Okay.
sure.
And I will share the format in the group so that the other participants they can prepare accordingly. Okay. So fine then. Thanks a lot, Anil, for your
Yeah,
time
thank
and
you.
congratulations and all the very best. And that's a
Yeah,
great
thank you,
lesson
sir.
for each one of us that it can happen that
Yeah,
sometime in our life we can be down, but
yeah,
again we have to bounce back and we have to prove to the world that yes, I exist, right?
yeah.
So thanks a lot, everyone, for attending the session. So we'll connect again the next session. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, Tanil.
Yeah,
Thank
Thank
you, Anil.
you.
yeah.
Thank you,
One
Anil.
more.
Thank you,
Thank
Anil.
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
yeah.
Thanks,
One
Anil.
more thing.
Thank
I
you.
need to thankful to Karthik Kondapak, sir. Yeah, he was
Okay.
the one. Yeah, whenever I
Karthik
was.
contact. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Good.
yeah.
Good. Good.
Whenever I was stuck in somewhere in big data, yeah, he was one go-to person. Anytime I can
Hmm.
contact him.
That's very
Yeah, he
helpful.
will help. Yes, sir. Yeah, I need to thankful to him.
Okay. Karthik. I think Karthik is not there. I will convey this thanks to the Karthik. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So thank you. Thank you. Take care. Bye.
yeah. Bye.
Thanks, Anil.
Thank you, Anil.
Yeah, thank you.